Alright, hi, I'm Ross. Today we're making bell peppers stuffed with spinach and mushrooms. And so we're going to get started with our ingredients. We're going to use 2 cups of brown rice cooked. Alright, we have 1 cup, well we use a little more because we like more, and that's okay to do. It's finely chopped mushrooms and lightly sauteed. We have 1 cup of low-fat cottage cheese, because we're trying to make something, healthy, or at least remotely healthy. We use garlic cloves. We use fresh garlic, because we like to use fresh garlic. We minced it up very fine and added that with the baby spinach. We have a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese and a 1/2 cup of mozzarella cheese. And then finally, some pepper to shake in there. Oh yeah, we're also going to be adding some balsamic vinegar today. I'll tell you the portion. I believe it's a 1 tablespoon. Alrighty, so here's the baby spinach we use. You can prepare it by sauteing it with the garlic. We actually chopped it with a knife. And you can do it either way that suits your fancy. So we're gonna start putting all the stuff together. We have our brown rice cooked, so we're gonna put in 2 cups of brown rice. And mind you, the garlic is already mixed in with the spinach.
How much spinach did you use, Ross?
1 quart.
Okay, so that equals out about a bag,
yeah,
a small bag.
A bag of baby spinach. And then we used 2 teaspoons of garlic in with the spinach. Alright, so we have 2 cups of brown rice, and then we're going to add the mushrooms. And the recipe calls for 1 cup, but we decided to use, we used 2, so, because we like the mushrooms. It was the consensus. Alright, and then we're going to add the cottage cheese.
We need sound effects.
And the Parmesan cheese. We're going to do half the mozzarella, because half the mozzarella is going to go on at the end to melt over the top. I think that's about half. Alright. Some pepper. The recipe calls for using a pepper mill to grind some fresh pepper, but this will work just as well. Alrighty. And you can put as much pepper as you want. And as before I said, a 1 tablespoon of balsamic vinegar, that's a little too much. It's actually a 1/2 tablespoon. So.
Just do half of them on the 1.
Yeah, I figured. 1/2 tablespoon. Alrighty, there you go. And now, we're gonna mix it all up. Alright, so we've mixed all our ingredients together. This is what it looks like. It smells great. This is the bell pepper. We prep the bell pepper by cutting off the top, taking out the seeds and as much of the membrane inside as possible. And then you can flatten the bottom if they won't stand on their own. You want to try hard not to put holes in it. We got some holes, but it's nothing to stress over. Yeah, so we're going to start stuffing the pepper. The recipe that we use said, resist the urge to pack it down, because you have the cheese and everything, and it'll kind of settle while it's baking.
So if you notice here, we are composting everything. So anything that comes off of a vegetable can go back into a compost into the ground. And it's great for gardens to enrich your soil. Also, like we were saying before, the main ingredient in these peppers is rice. And so what we used was brown rice, and we did 2 cups of brown rice. So what you do is you put 2 cups of brown rice and 4 cups of water into a pan, and you turn it on high and let it boil. And then once it comes to a boil, you put it down to a simmer and let it cook for approximately 35 to 40 minutes. So he's gonna tell us what he's doing now.
Right now, I'm taking some olive oil and putting a light coat on the outside of the peppers. You can use your hands for this. It's okay to get them a little oily because that's why we wash our hands over and over again. And like we said, it doesn't take a lot. We prefer to use olive oil. The recipe does say you could use cooking spray. However, we do not recommend that. Olive oil is the better way to go. Alright, so as you can see, we're getting towards the tail end of our peppers cooking. They've been in for about 15 minutes at 425, which is the recipe calls for that. The reason you don't, you resist the urge to pack the filling in is because it requires more cooking time. But we've added the cheese, we're letting it melt in there, and we've felt the peppers, they're a little bit squishy, but we're gonna put them in for about 3 more minutes, kind of wing it. They should look a little more wilted, and we'll know they're done, and then they'll be delicious. Ooh, okay, as you can see, our spinach and mushroom stuffed bell peppers are done cooking. And
This masterpiece.
alrighty.
Okay, so he is going to cut his famous stuffed peppers and we're gonna take a little taste. We're gonna let
Wow.
Sue and Ross have the first taste of this wonderful meal.
It smells so good. It's just a masterpiece. Look at that. And I'm even seeing, you could do lentils in here instead of rice, or with the rice, couldn't you? What do you think about that?
With peppers, stuffed peppers, you can kind of just make whatever you want.
Yeah.
Kind of add whatever.
Alright, got the top cheese there. Alrighty.
Okay, go ahead and
Ross,
take
go
a taste.
ahead.
Alright.
There you go, Ross.
That one's mine?
Yeah.
Alright.
I'm gonna take this one. Looks like it's still a little bit hot. Take a little bit of the cheese with it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Made a little bit of a mess, but here goes the first time I've ever done this before. Oh.
Is it hot?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
What do you think?
Oh my gosh, this is fantastic.
It's very good.